Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've got an exciting video today because it's going to be the next iteration of an account update, and so much has happened since the last time I've done one of these. That was like the 3.5 million account rating one, and this one is not only 4 million rating after just a few months, but it's also after the advent of 7 stars. I have so many new rank 4s that are interesting to me, and additionally I have a new rank 5 that I have not yet announced to YouTube. You may have seen it on my profile, but I do like to make a big deal out of any time I use tier 6 class catalyst, so if you do stick around I will reveal who that number 3 is. But before we get cracking there, I do need to just pause for a minute and say a huge thank you to anybody that has ever watched one of my videos, who has subscribed, commented, shared, or just, accidentally stumbled upon one of my videos, given me a view, because I've hit a big milestone for YouTube, at least for me personally, which is 3,000 subscribers. Something I honestly was not sure was possible. Given that this is a mobile game, it's got a small market, a small tight-knit community, and there's just so many great channels out there already. So the fact that I was able to get to 3K with your help is such a huge thing that I'm proud of. And I promise you guys that I will continue to be making content. If you like what you've seen, there's going to be more like that in the near future. Now, I have finally stopped procrastinating on something that was available over a year ago, but I have finally opened up memberships to the channel. I think I was a little timid to do this, but this time around I've actually commissioned none other than Cat Murdock to create 4 new MCOC themed emojis that are only going to be available on YouTube if you become a member of the channel. I'm not going to give away what they are. You will probably start seeing them as people become members, but I may be a little bit biased here, but I do think that they are the greatest MCOC emojis that have ever been made. They are so cool. They are some of my favorite characters, but I think also the community loves some of these characters, and they just came out great. So huge props to Kat. She's been a big supporter of this channel, done a lot of the artwork in the past, and I was so excited to collaborate with her and offer that. So just for $5 a month, if you feel so inclined, I would really appreciate it if you consider being a member. And you know what? If you don't want to be a member of this channel, I would encourage you to support other content creators, other artists in the community. They do so much to bring joy right onto our computer screens, onto our phone screens, share the knowledge. And, if you are feeling bad about the game for any reason, just remember that these people are working hard, doing their best, and probably really shaping up what the community is going to be. And if you can support anyone, whether it's me or another content creator you love, it really goes a long way. One of the other ways that I'm going to be celebrating 3,000 subs is I'm going to finally be doing a best in class series, like top 5 mystics, top 5 science, top 5 mutant. I'm going to be doing a countdown over the next month. It's something that a lot of people are interested in. It's something that people have requested privately for me, and I know a lot of other people do it. In fact, I think some of my good friends are doing it currently, but I do think it's also kind of fun to compare, like who does Campo think, who does Vega think, who do other people think are the top 5 champions. It always leads to some healthy debate and some fun, and I do enjoy sharing that. Plus I think they make for good videos, entertaining short bits of videos. So do watch out for those. I am going to be doing my rankings over the next month, as well as the usual Alliance War content. So with that, we're going to get into the excitement here. I've got the 7 stars pulled up, but I do want to reveal this new rank 5. We will definitely get to the 7 stars before long, but here we go. So starting off with our rank 5s, our newest one is Nick Fury, and that is right, that is not necessarily on brand for my channel. I ranked some pretty sort of off the beaten path champs as my first 2. No Hercules, no Doom for those classes, but you know what? I've seen these 7 stars. I've seen how powerful they are, and I know that, it's not going to be too long before we stop rank 5ing some of these 6 stars and focusing on the 7 stars. Nick Fury, dude, he is so powerful, and I do not see him coming as a 7 star anytime soon. So that's why I made that decision. I think one really fun one of just like an unequivocally powerful skilled champion was the way to go. He's a really good defender, really good for battlegrounds, and that's one of the reasons that I'm so excited about that. So going down the line, you've already seen Spider-Man Supreme. You've already seen Null. Again, Battlegrounds, they're both great. Null, a very underrated attacker. He's so good at this rank, not going to the special 3 and not needing to run the recoil tree. You can seriously just spam special 1s and he's just erasing opponents. The degen that causes him to regenerate a little bit really tops him off in every fight, and he's just an annoying defender. I win lots of fights with Battlegrounds with him, whether it's surprising someone with him on attack against a Penny Parker, placing him on defense and stalling. And I could say the same about Spider-Man Supreme. You know, you would think that he's only good against buff champions, but in some ways he's better against not buff champions because you can very safely ramp without getting pushed by Mystic Dispersion, and you can just get into that Spider Totem orange form and just nuke them with like 1 or 2 special 2s. When he's high sig, you get that big power burst when you go onto cooldown with the miss. His miss, it reminds me a little bit of Kitty Pryde, only it's a little bit less cheap, a little bit less easy to access, but it still has the same safety net and ability to use to get openings that she does. Just a banger of a champion, and somebody I will be making content on him in the near future for sure. Now, next up, Dr. Doom. We've talked about him a lot. There's not much to say about him. He's still the best Mystic. He's going to stay rank 4 for a while. Omega Sentinel, she's making a lot of appearances on my Alliance War teams, as is iDoom. They are just real stalwart tech champions, especially in this meta, but I do really enjoy having them as my only tech champions all the way up there. Nimrod has not quite made it. Absorbing Man is doing amazing things in Battlegrounds. He's a really good defender, and I do get to bring him to Alliance War every once in a while. Our battle group has multiple rank 5 ones, including DLL, the designer of Carl himself, so I don't get to use him that much, but every once in a while there's like a Terrax or a Hulkling and we get to take him in war. Spider-Man 99 has not lost any value. He is still extremely powerful. Highly recommend him Sig 200 rank 4 if you can, because what he does, he was one of the first Wither champions, one of the first buff immune champions, technically the second one, and he's still just one of the best at both of those when it comes to power control, shutting down the matchups, you know, doing damage through block, but just even more than that, just his play style, the red damage, and that high sig combat power rate, the way it all works together, he is still a force to be reckoned with and one of my favorite champs. We're going to talk about Kitty and Bishop together here. My Sig 200 mutants. I love my Sig 200 mutants, and they are all the way up here at rank 4. Finally, I brought Bishop up. He's a new one. I do have the 7-star Bishop, but you know what? He does not have that Sig 200, which makes him go unblockable with only 10 prowess. So this one at rank 4 is honestly a worse defender than the other one who isn't duped, and I do still enjoy playing with the 6-star in Battlegrounds. One day I'll dupe that 7-star and he'll be obsolete, but for now he's an absolute tank, really good against Korgs and other nasty shruggers that are skill champions, and he's putting in a lot of work. Kitty Pryde is self-explanatory. She is so powerful. I'm not using her as much as I used to because I'm in a battle group with a real professional Kitty Pryde player, of course, but I will occasionally, you know, she's on my defense for Alliance War and she does get use every once in a while. Elsa Bloodstone, arguably my favorite champ, my signature champ. Very happy to have her at Sig 200 as a rank 4, of course, but we do have the 7-star now, which does kind of complicate things because I probably would have wanted to take her all the way to rank 5 one day, but knowing I have that 7-star, she's going to stay here at rank 4, very powerful with that high Sig. It's going to take a long time for the 7-star to catch up to her, but she's putting in a lot of work right here, and if it is a matchup against a science champion or something, I'm probably going to bring her over the 7-star, but against generic matchups, the other one does so much damage too, so I'm very excited to have both. Spot has become my new favorite science champion. I love this guy. He is so fast in Battlegrounds. I really kind of road tested him, brought him into a lot of war fights, and he's just an amazing dude. I love Spot. He is more versatile than you would think. You do take a tiny bit of chip damage, but he makes up for it with speed and just sort of controlling the the fight by not having to hit them that many times. If you're really good at maximizing his damage by using his signature ability, you can just absolutely nuke fights with like one special 2. It's really fun. There's a special 1 rotation as well that should be shouted out. Next up, we have Valkyrie, another SIG 200 champ, one of my favorites. She is, again, so versatile, the best unstoppable counter in the entire game. So if there's a nasty thing, there is a way to just use her. You don't revert your combo, you just get your 3 pierce and go at it. You're not going to trigger protection. If it's a longer fight, you can be using your special 1, get those evade charges, continue going up and up with your combo until you unleash an absolutely devastating special 2. She is so good. Damage through block is very, very underrated, and she's one of the best champions. Next up, APOC, my first rank 4. I still use this guy all the time. Now, when you throw power back boost on him and liquid courage and double edge, specifically double edge, he's a monster in war. He can just erase defenders, but that shrugging ability that he has to just reduce the ability accuracy to it, it is so powerful, as well as the concussion, the debuffs, the weakness, plus his health is so high, it's very hard to die with him. He's a great champ, a staple of many teams, potentially still the best mutant overall in the entire game. Overseer, he's kind of growing on me. I was not a fan of him when he first came out. B McG, Vega, others showed us the way. Bryce as well, just how good this guy is. I finally drank the Kool-Aid, took him to SIG 200, and now he's my most used war attacker for the past 2 seasons. So I think that says something there. He's a tank. He punishes things that he's immune to, and he does a ton of damage and not that many hits. Hulkling, I would argue, is the best cosmic champion because Hercules is his own class of champion that we don't like to talk about. But when it comes to just cosmics, in fact, I don't have that many cosmics ranked up because I believe in Hulkling so much. I've said this before, when he does anything, a buff appears that amplifies what he's doing. If he well times blocks, you get a bulwark. If he's hitting the block, you get a pierce. If you throw a special 2, it gets a fury. If you continue to hit the opponent, you get an aptitude for that fury. You keep hitting that block, he goes unblockable. If he gets hit, he starts regenning and eventually goes indestructible. He's just so good. There's so many ways to use him, and he's annoying on defense. Best cosmic, hands down. Toad, my newest rank 4. I really like Toad. I think he has a niche position against very difficult skill champions, annoying defender. Those Nick Furies out in the world, he is so good at taking them down. War Machine, I do have a rank 4 video on him. He's fantastic. Really like War Machine. The only thing that I would say about him is he is available as a 7-star, so that did sting a little bit because I don't really care about his SIG, but having the rank 4 and no 7-star for the time being, quite good. Kingpin, he's SIG 65, that's plenty. That gives him that 3 debuffs, which turns into 4 immediately. If I'm going into a match blind and I have no idea what I'm about to face, he's probably the attacker I'm going to choose because he's just so freaking versatile. He has ability reduction, he's a tank, he just regens as he goes, he gets combat power rate, his special 2 creates openings with the unstoppable, it just goes on and on and on. You get overpower, you get unblockable specials, degen, not many things are immune to it. He's hard to kill. He's hard to fight at times, and he's just such a good attacker, even against champs that he has no business taking. And of course, hazard shift, debuffs, they still exist. It doesn't matter if they're damaging or non-damaging. You put 8 of them on him, he goes into overpower, they're all gone, doesn't need the hood synergy. He is phenomenal. Scorpion, always been one of my favorite champs. I was early on him in his videos, but it didn't take long for everybody else to catch up with how good he is. Throw on that Agent Venom synergy and he's just the most ridiculous champion in the game. He's a real candidate for rank 5 for me, but we'll talk about that later. And then finally, Scarlet Witch, she did what she needed to do, which was take on that Karina's Challenge lane, pretty much solo. And rank 4 Scarlet Witch is pretty darn fun. It is an RNG fest, but I find more often than not, she's going to work in your corner and things are going to even out. You're going to get the buffs and the debuffs that you want, and she's going to control the fight. Really good nullify still, really fun champ. She's one of the OGs, but she's still really good. Now let's take a look at the 7-stars. I only have, 8 of them right now? But Dragon Man is duped. That means he is a real rank 2 candidate. Sunspot is probably the best attacker in BGs that is available as a 7-star. He's also pretty good in War this season because he has the tactic. Elsa I've already talked about. Having her on the account, having the 6-star Winter Soldier relic is pretty darn cool. I'm pretty into that. She's going to go a long way on this account. She's got a lot of time yet in front of her. Mangog popped out of a Paragon Crystal and I couldn't be happier. I make fun of this guy all the time. I hate attacking with him, but a 7-star on defense is brutal. Like, he's getting kills in Battlegrounds. Very, very difficult to fight and get down quickly because of all the things that he does. We love Mangog here. Storm, never ranked her as a 6-star. Super excited to have her as a 7-star. I'm finally getting into her camp, figuring out how to maximize her prowess, throw those big special 3s, special 2s, get around the shrugging. She is quite good. I enjoy using her against Korg in Battlegrounds or throwing her on defense. If they don't have Nimrod, they're in a little bit of trouble. Then we have Bishop. Already talked about him. I basically have Bishop as an attacker, this one, and Bishop as a defender, the other one. That's not a bad place to be. Rocket Raccoon is just tons of fun. I never really got into his buff until I finally pulled him. I am missing that heal block, but man, he just hits hard. He crits a lot. That special 2 does a ton of damage. He has armor break. The shield is pretty underrated too. That thing makes him a little bit more tanky. Keeps the combo shield up as well. I do really like Rocket. He's quite good. And then Overseer. Man, if I duped this guy, he would go straight to rank 2, but I have a feeling it's going to take a while to dupe him. We don't open 7-stars that often, but just getting that first copy of a champ I already love is pretty darn phenomenal. So really quickly, we're going to go over the relics. So I have one 6-star relic. It's the Winter Soldier, which is phenomenal. And then when it comes to the 5-star relics, I've got Hulk and Vision and Captain America and Ant-Man. Those are the only ones I've been able to rank up to more than rank 2 or 3. Ant-Man is of course duped, but I don't really have a good champion for him, so he's just hanging out on Wasp. Vision is quite good for heal block champions, so that's why he's on Omega Sentinel. Overseer really enjoys that Hulk one. Captain America is very good for Spot. So I'm feeling pretty good about these ones. The other 5-stars that I have that I haven't done much with are Iron Fist, who's really good for Carl. So overall, I can't complain too much. I think I missed Wolverine as well. He's just hanging out on Bishop for now. Not the best usage for him, but I do think unless if I get Storm, I think that's the way to go so that the regen's a little bit more potent on him. But anyway, those are the relics. I just want to go over the resources a little bit and talk about who I want to rank next. So first of all, I am missing some of the 6-stars that are in the current featured pool. I really, really want Kate Bishop, and I would love to also get Cassie. I do not have them, and I do have pretty much all the other champions, but none of them are duped. Zemo and future Ant-Man need that dupe in my opinion, as does Vision. I have them all rank 3. Whoever I get first, I may rank 4 because they are all really, really cool champions. But going by class, when I get the tier 6, I'm almost positive it's going to be Spot. It's got to be Spot. He has already made a big impact on this channel with the war fights. I love him in Battlegrounds. He can be annoying enough on defense, especially at rank 5. Just picturing that special 2, super excited about it. But the underdog is Overseer. If we get him to Sig 20, he's going to be really, really competing for that spot for my first rank 2. Now, I've already done Nick in this class, which means Elsa is next. I don't care about prestige. I don't care about anything. My favorite character in the game is going to go to rank 2. I really hope I can awaken her, but if not, I'm taking that 7-star up to rank 2 next. It's just going to take a minute because I'm pretty low on skill stuff. But yeah, I am, you know what? This is a game. You're supposed to have fun. Elsa is going up next. Now, Mutant is an interesting one. I'm very much leaning towards Sunspot because he doesn't necessarily need that dupe that much. Obviously, in longer fights, it's super nice to have, but for the most part, he's going to be absolutely fine unduped because you're not using all 80 of his charges to get down a Battlegrounds or War champion, which is where I'm mostly going to be using him. So would love the dupe because that would solve a lot of prestige issues. But there is always Apocalypse. There's always Apocalypse. He is a back pocket option if it makes sense. I've used him so much, I wouldn't mind rank 5ing him. Next up, we come to Cosmic. This is a tough class for me, but it would probably have to be Hulkling. I don't even have any of the ones that are 7 stars right now, which could change things if I get Gore. But I already said Hulkling's the best champion. You might wonder why I did Null. It's just because some of my best friends were doing Hulkling. I kind of want it to be a little different, and I have no regrets because having a Null for defense in my battle group has already gotten some really big kills in tier 1. Believe it or not, people do still die to Null. But yeah, I really enjoy Null, but Hulkling is just so freaking good. I think I would not even bat an eye to take him up to rank 5 next. Now here we go. We come on to this next class. Future Ant-Man is really intriguing me, but so is Omega Sentinel. She has just been one of my favorite champions for a long time. I could really see her going all the way up, but there's also champs like Viv Vision, and now there's Lady Deathstrike coming out, so Tech is probably my most undecided class. I think a lot will be told over the next several months, and if I do form Tech, I'm just gonna have to make a tough decision and go with my heart and pick who I want to do. There's so many good options. I don't really have a favorite. And then when it comes to Mystic, it's probably going to be Dragon Man rank 2 because he's my only duped of the 7 stars, and I do really think he is quite good, quite underrated even. And having the dupe is just nice. I mean, if nothing else, for just a little bit of a prestige boost, if I brought him to rank 2, he may actually make it into my top 5. I've really enjoyed using him because I never really had the other one past rank 3 and he wasn't duped. So having this just tank of a champion with the extra attack, with the stat focus for his special attacks and everything like that, he's been just one of my favorite questing champions lately, and I could really see myself rank 2ing him. So anyway, that's about where we are. Let's just really take a quick look at the profile. I have this really funny Spider-Man with the cat picture as my thing, and Web Slinger. I'm going to keep that for a while, but you can see we're over 4 million rating. We have over 1,000 champs. The Relic Prestige is almost over 800, and we've crested 18k, so I'm kind of in the middle of the pack for SSX, which is not bad at all. There's our beautiful rank 5s and Dr. Doom sitting up there. I think technically iDoom would be the next prestige champ, not regular Doom, but either way, it's looking pretty spicy, and things are going pretty well with this account. So anyway, once again, thank you to everybody for listening to this whole video, me ramble about some of my favorite champions and why I rank them up. I'm so grateful again for the 3,000 subs. Please do consider being a member. There's going to be a link in the description. And with that, I think that's all I got for you today. So thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned for those class countdowns. Like I said in the beginning of the video, those are going to be coming out this month. And that's all I got for you today. So thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you in the next one.